Yo, YouTube, it's your boy Premier, back today with another banger, and in today's video we will be going over the top 3 most overpowered builds in NBA 2K20. But first things first, before we get into the builds, Premier Worldwide, I already know you're good for it, but if you're new, smash that like button, drop a nice comment below, subscribe if you're new, and while you're at it, turn those post notifications on. Currently, we are on a daily upload streak since September 24th of 2019, so I appreciate any support, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the builds. First things first, the first build we're going to be going over is a point guard build. So make sure you select a point guard, and it is really up to you, etc. Next, for the skill breakdown, you want to go ahead and find the pie chart with the most shooting and the most finishing. This is by far one of the most overpowered pie charts in the game. With this pie chart, you can speed boost, get Hall of Fame finishing, and Hall of Fame shooting badges. Next, for the physical profile, you want to go ahead and keep it at the default. You want the highest speed, the highest acceleration. At the point guard position, I feel you need the most speed and the most acceleration possible. Next, for the attributes, I'm going to go ahead and knock out these attribute caps and show you the updated attributes for this build. After knocking out the attribute caps for this build, as you can see, 21 finishing, 21 shooting, 17 playmaking. This build only gets 1 defense and rebounding, but it definitely makes up for it in the other categories. And the way you get those badges on this build, max out your close shot, max out your driving layup, max out your driving dunk, max out your standing dunk, and you want to upgrade your post hook to 77. Next, onto the shooting, go ahead and max out every single one of your shooting categories. If you lower it anymore, you're not going to get the 21 shooting badges. Next, from here, just go ahead and max out your pass accuracy, ball handle, and you want to upgrade your post moves to 72. Next, onto the defense, go ahead and max out your perimeter defense and lateral quickness and upgrade your steal as much as you can. Now, if you're not comfortable with this build only getting the 1 defense and rebounding badge, here's what you can do as well. It is another option with this build. It's just up to you. You can balance it out a little. You can get a lot more defense and rebounding badges with this build. It's just completely up to you and what you want from your build. Another way you can do it is this right here. If you just want to get a complete beast across the board, 16 finishing, 16 shooting, 13 playmaking, 9 defense and rebounding. Not to mention, once you hit 96 overall, you are going to be able to speed boost. But me personally, I do not think this is the best setup possible. This right here is the exact build that I recommend for the park. This build all across the board with the right lineup is literally unstoppable. Next, for the body shape, I feel like there's a few different options. You can select Bill. Bill is a great body shape for this body. You can also look at defined as well if you want the longer arms. I honestly think this is best just for like attacking the paint, not making as much body contact with the broad shoulders as Bill. So me personally, for this build, I recommend defined. Next, onto the height, you just want to keep it at default. You want to leave it at 6'3", because once you go ahead and get the right weight and get the right arm length, you're going to be able to speed boost. For the weight, I do recommend minimizing the weight. I honestly think this build does not need the strength. You want the highest vertical and the highest acceleration. So after that, it's onto the wingspan. You want to minimize your wingspan as well. This build is a little smaller, but once you get the right badges, once you get him upgraded, he is going to be able to dunk on literally anyone in the paint. So from here, you do want to honestly select slasher takeover. If you selected another takeover, shot creator takeover is okay. Sharp takeover is very good as well. Playmaker takeover would be the next takeover I'd recommend. But me personally, I recommend slasher takeover for this build. And as you can see, you have built an offensive threat similar to Trae Young. This build will literally be able to dunk on anyone. Have fun with this build. You will literally be able to dunk on anyone. Let me know what you think of it down below in the comment section. But from here, we're going to go back to the main menu and on to the next build. From here, the next build you want to go ahead and look at. This build right here was made very popular by Nadex. It's an interior force. This build is literally unstoppable. You just want to make it a power forward. You can drive in and dunk on anyone. This year, dunking has got to be the most OP thing in the game. You can literally give comp players trouble even if you aren't good at the game, just being able to dunk the ball at a high rate. So from here, I recommend selecting the all dunking pie chart for this build. You want the highest driving dunk, the highest standing dunk possible. Next, onto the physical profile. The only physical profile you need for this build is the second one down. You want the highest vertical possible, the highest strength possible for this build.
I just like the sound of it.
Next, from here, I'm going to go ahead and fly through these attribute caps and show you the updated attributes for this build. As you can see, this build is an absolute beast in the paint. The 30 finishing and 12 defense and rebounding, you are literally going to be unstoppable around the rim. And the way you get those badge upgrades, you want to go ahead and max out everything in the finishing category besides your close shot. Only need to upgrade your close shot to 92. Next, onto the shooting, go ahead and max out your mid-range and your three-point shot. If your guard has on floor general and dimer, and if you know your shot, are going to be able to shoot at a very high rate on this build. Next, for the defense, you just want to go ahead and max out everything in the defense and rebounding category besides your steal. Upgrade your steal to a 56 as high as you can. From here, onto the body shape. The only body shape you want to consider for this build is burly, hands down. Next, for the height, 6'9" is not a bad height. Honestly, you're going to get bullied enough at 6'10", even if you looked at max weight. So honestly, for the height, you still get an 89 driving dunk. Once you're at 99 overall, you have a 93 driving dunk. So for this build, I recommend 6'10". Next, for the weight, go ahead and upgrade your weight. If I'm not mistaken, it was 262. That is the max you want for this weight, with a 72 vertical and that 80 interior defense. Next, onto the wingspan. Here you have two options. A lot of slashers automatically like to max out their arms, but me, I have heard this year, if you go 2 down, it makes your player be able to catch oops a little more consistently. That is something definitely to think about on this build. Me personally, I want to catch every oop possible. But for the takeover, there is no other option than the slasher takeover. And as you can see, you have built an interior force similar to Anthony Davis, similar to Amari Stoudemire. This build is a beast at 99 overall. Once you get this build maxed out, you can literally bait the big man, tell him to sit under the paint and go dunk on it. I know it sounds a little crazy, but you can even ISO on this build. This is one of the most overpowered big man builds in the game. But from here, we're going to go ahead and back out to the main menu, onto the final build. This build right here, you want to go ahead and make another point guard. Honestly, guards are back in NBA 2K20. In previous years, they did not get the love they have this year. Next, for the skill breakdown. The skill breakdown, the pie chart you want to select is the pie chart with the most defense and the most playmaking. This pie chart here is absolutely insane. The driving dunk, you get all the contact dunks in the game. You have a 67 three-point shot, which at 99 goes to a 71. Not to mention, if you play around with the arms, it can go to about a 75. Then on top of that, you get Hall of Fame playmaking, Hall of Fame defensive. With the 87 steal and being able to speed boost, this build right here can do everything. So go ahead and select the pie chart with the most playmaking and the most defense and rebounding. Next, for the physical profile, you do have two options here. The one at the top is a great option. This one here, the second one from the bottom, the 95 vertical, 94 speed, is amazing on this build. This one here at the top is great, but honestly, I think I got to go with this one here. This right here is a better median of stats compared to this here at the top. The physical profile I recommend for this build is the second one down from the bottom. Next, for your potential, I'm going to go ahead and fly through these attribute caps and show you the updated attributes for this build. After I've updated the attribute caps, you get 11 finishing, 10 shooting, 20 playmaking, 18 defense and rebounding. Max out your close shot, driving layup, driving dunk. You want to max out your mid-range, 3-point, upgrade your free throw to 82, max out your post fade as well. Next, onto the playmaking, upgrade your pass accuracy to an 88, upgrade your ball handling to an 89. Yes, you can speed boost. After that, onto the defense and rebounding, max out your perimeter defense, lateral quickness, steal, and you want to upgrade your block. From here, you do have a decision made. You can upgrade the rest in your defense and rebounding, or you can do this right here. This is another option I've seen with this build just to get the maximum defense and rebounding badges. Me, to be honest, I am willing to take the sacrifice. I do want to have my player be able to block people. I want to have him have those LeBron chase down animations. So the build I recommend, I honestly think taking the 2 extra badges and being able to block people at a high rate is worth it. So go ahead and leave it like this, in my opinion. If you want the extra badge upgrades, you can definitely take the other as well. Next, for the body shape, I do feel there is 2 different body shapes to look at here, burly and defined. Either or is a great option for this build. Me personally, I do think defined is a little better just for the longer arms, but if you do plan on playing lockdown with this build, I recommend burly. Next, onto the height, 6'5" for this build is the best. Look at all the different bonuses you get to this build just by going 6'5". 87 driving dunk, 85 ball control. Don't worry, once we fix the arms, he is going to be able to speed boost, 80 block. This build right here can literally do it all across the board. This is one of the best builds in the game. So from here, just go ahead and move on to the weight. You do have a few options here with the weight. If I'm not mistaken, the weight I looked at earlier was 179 for this build. I definitely recommend this weight. Next, for the wingspan, you can definitely go ahead and look at a few different options here. You can minimize it if you want, just to be able to speed boost the most and have the highest 3-point shot, or the one that I recommend personally it's only 1 down. Even if you wanted, you could go ahead and max it out, but you wouldn't be able to speed boost until you hit 99 overall. That is something for you to think about. You are the one who has to control this player. Me personally, this right here is the best all around. You don't want your defense to come down too much, and you don't want to have too low of a 3-point, and you want to be able to speed boost off rip with that 86 ball control. Next, onto the takeover. Here you honestly have 1 of 2 options. Playmaker takeover if you want to take ankles, or if you want to dunk on people, select slasher takeover. And as you can see, you have built a 2-way slashing playmaker similar to Russell Westbrook, similar to John Wall. This build right here is one of the best in the game. Let me know what you think about it down below, if it's a dub, if it's a L. But that's all for today's video. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Make sure to turn those post notifications on. It's your boy Premier, and I'm out. Peace!